So, my name's Aileen.
My name is Johannes.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to meet you too.
So you're Johannes Spandau, is that correct?
That's correct. Here's my ID.
Thank you very much. Lovely, thank you. And you're doing SO 3?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, okay. And we're going to start with your topic presentation.
Yeah.
And then we can move on to the topic discussion and finish with a different piece of discussion.
Okay.
What are you going to talk about?
I like to talk today about management and administration, but I like to point out the topic management.
Okay, so we're talking about management.
Yeah.
And while you're doing your topic presentation, I'm going to be taking notes.
Okay.
So that's not being assessed. I just need some notes so that I have questions to ask later.
For the discussions later. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So these are your slides for the presentation.
That's lovely, thank you.
Yeah.
And you've got 5 minutes to present your topic.
Okay, I like
and
to...
you've got a clock here.
Yeah, I like to go on the slide 2 because I like to talk about management, and therefore I decided my talk into 3 sections. The first section I like to talk about management functions. The secondly, I'd like to speak about roles of management and which are necessary to achieve companies' goals. And finally, I'd like to give you an overview of management skills which are necessary.
Okay.
So therefore, we start now with management functions. I think management operates through different functions, which are often classified, as you can see here, as planning, organizing, staffing, leading, innovation, directing, controlling, or monitoring. So, and I prefer today to speak to you about planning and innovation because I think they are really close together and there's a strong relationship between these 2 functions. As an example, the Google CEO, Eric Schmidt, said in the last week that innovation was the heart of Google, but you had to plan them. So I think it's really important on the one hand to point out right now planning and on the other hand the function of innovation. So what's exactly planning? I think planning is to decide a future strategy. From a management board, for example, and you also have to organize your course of action to achieve your goals. And to conclude this point of planning, you can say that it decides the gap between where you are at the moment and where you want to be in the future. I think concerning the planning, Nokia made a lot of faults in the past because their revenues decreased, as you see here. And in contrast to this, Apple made a lot of things really great, I think brilliant, because their revenues increase and they have a lot of success, for example, with the iPhone. And so Nokia made wrong decisions, and that's also a thing between planning and innovation. But what are really great innovations which are necessary for the customers and which are bought by the customers? Well, I think innovations are on the one hand an intellectual activity, and on the other hand you have to discuss your innovations very carefully with your management board, and you need for this several specific roles. This leads me to my next point, which are the management roles in a company. And I think you should have 3 kind of roles of management. On the one hand, interpersonal roles. That means, in other words, it is, for example, to be encouraging your staff or to mentoring your staff, give them advice. And on the other hand, I think you have to be informal. That means you should share information, for example, or analyze information. And the most important point, I think, is to have decisional functions. That's the main part of, for example, CEOs. And I think a really famous and a brilliant CEO was Steve Jobs, because he made a lot of things really brilliant. For example, the iPhone or the iPad. But I think it's really difficult to cover all these different roles by one person. So it's necessary to have a good, brilliant team, and it's necessary that the several pieces fits together like a puzzle. And therefore, I think it's necessary to have different management skills. which can be divided into conceptual, interpersonal, or diagnostic skills. And the conceptual skills are, for example, skills to analyze your environment, analyze current crisis, for example, the currency crisis or the subprime crisis in the USA, for example. Interpersonal skills are the most important discussed point at the moment, I think, which means, in other words, to be cooperative or to be communicative, like a team player, and find the right communication to your employees and to your shareholders. The last point, I think, is also very important, to have diagnostic skills, because they have to combine your conceptual skills and your interpersonal skills to find the best strategy and to derive the best strategy for the future. Yeah, I think it's really difficult for the companies to find these skills for their employees, and that would be a challenge for the future, especially concerning to the war for talent.
Right.
And if you have any questions, I would be glad to answer them right now.
Right. Thank you very much.